She's constantly reminded that she's a harami. She doesn't belong here. She was unexpected. She was unwanted. Have you ever finished a book and just sat there, unable to move because your heart was both broken and full at the same time? Well, that's what Khaled Hosseini's A Thousand Splendid Suns did to me. It is a book that is so powerful. It's about two Afghan women, Mariam and Laila, who lived through war, patriarchy, and so much loss. And still they managed to find love, friendship, and hope. Still thinking about it, my heart is so heavy. So today I want to talk about this book, and I hope you'll stay with me and would like to hear my 2 cents about this book. Welcome to Let's Get Her Out of Here. A Thousand Splendid Suns was published in 2007. It's a book by author Khaled Hosseini. I also talked about The Kite Runner by the same author in this channel, and I love that book. It's a book that's my all-time favorite. So after The Kite Runner, I read this one. The novel is set in Afghanistan from 1970s to early 2000s through Soviet invasion, the Civil War, the Taliban regime, and the early years of US invasion. But this is not just a war story, it's an intimate portrait of women's lives inside homes, kitchens, and courtyards, places we rarely get to have access to. There are no news headlines about what women go through in those kind of extreme situations, So this is, of course, that's why it's also another very, very important story for me, at least, to read about. And the heart of it is, of course, a relationship between the main two protagonists of the book, Mariam and Laila. At the beginning of the story, we meet Mariam and we get to hear how she grew up as an illegitimate child on the outskirts of Herat, and she's constantly reminded that she's a harami, which basically means illegitimate, and that kind of becomes her whole personality. She's so driven internally and externally by this word, by her illegitimacy. Like she doesn't have the right to be who she is, or just to be. She doesn't belong here. She was unexpected, she was unwanted, and her whole existence is kind of surrounded by that emotion, by that perspective that she has inside of her, and she's constantly reminded of by others as well. And then on the flip side of it, we learn about Laila, who is completely different from Mariam and who has a completely different upbringing from Mariam. When on the one hand, Mariam is unwanted, on the other hand, Laila is loved and wanted and cherished by not only her mother but her father as well. So somehow through the effects of war, the lives of these two women collide. If you're someone who likes historical fiction, this is a good book. And if you're someone who's just likes stories about women, this is again another good read. So if you have not already read this, you could give it a try. It's totally up to you. And if you have already read this, Let me know how you feel about these characters, how you feel about this book, and let me know if you want to talk about it, and then we can talk more about this book. Thank you for watching. Let's get her out of here. I'm still kind of figuring out how to do this. Talk to myself while pretending I'm talking to other people. And it will really help me out if you subscribe. Hopefully I will talk to you soon enough with the next video. Happy reading!